Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to start with the convention exclusive SH Figuarts Kamen Rider 01 Shining Hopper form. And I gotta say, boy, is this thing pretty. Shout out to my main man Julian, who over actually no, Julian doesn't like discussing his job, so let's not talk about that. Shout out to Julian. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for sending this over to me. I appreciate you for real. And first and foremost, gotta say again, I love this form. The streamlined look, the sleek design. It's very, it just works. But there's one very important thing I want to point out in this. I didn't need to have to alter this neck peg on this one because it seems like they altered it themselves by adding a longer neck peg joint. I hope this is one of those things that Bandai is listening and adding longer neck joints, because everything about this guy's streamlined look really works in terms of articulation. So now that we've got a nice clean look at it, let's continue to look at it. It's just so pretty. Even backside, like, look. So if you've like gotten Assault Shining Hopper and you didn't know anything about this, I'm sorry in advance, because this technically came out like release date wise after Assault Shining Hopper, but in the show this form came first and Assault is the updated form. So yeah, but without further ado, let's take a look at articulation. This guy can look up with no problem, as you can see here. Looking down is also no problem. As you can see, neck took a couple to fold in, but yeah. We can actually look side to side. The collar piece is not getting away, and the neck joint actually allows for much more movement. So it's really cool to see this kind of, I don't know, I guess be listened to. And just silent things go a long way. We actually can take our arms out and we can rotate them up with no problem. Even with the shoulder pads here, they don't necessarily get in the way of articulation. You can't get a full rotation up. I think that's the only drawback. Nope, I was wrong. Just got to tuck it in a little. That is it. It actually does get a full, the glow up is real. We have bicep swivel. We are double jointed, which allow us to touch our heads with no problem, even over our arcing in the chest plate. And we can still rotate around with no problem. So that means crossing the arm over should not be an issue as well either. I can tuck back as well and then still push it back in to look more streamlined and clean. As far as our waist articulation, this is where it gets a little tricky, because we have this here in the way. We won't be able to like technically get as far as we would like. But as you can see here, crouching over to the sides will not be an issue. He still has really decent forward ab crunch, which together with the leg position should be fine. The problem is the ab crunch won't show here at all. Like, I'm telling you, I'm doing it, but it just won't show very well. So there's nothing I can do to convince you otherwise if you don't see it. And as far as the belt movement, we get a little bit of belt movement here. It's allow it to not bunch up when you're doing any sort of rider kicks or any sort of cool kicks. This still uses the drop down technique. We still have thigh swivel here. And it allows our leg to actually get really nicely far up. Our double joints look nice and clean as well. And we have generous ankle pivot, which is always one of my favorite things to allow things to look more natural, with a toe pivot as well. My toe pivot is nice and stuck. I like it. Yeah. So yeah. This guy is super duper clean. Like, I think this is probably, outside of like 02, probably one of my favorite forms. This is because 02 just looked so clean. Also, it referenced Rider 2, which is one of my favorite things. Now, for those of you that like looks, you may not like this neck opening gap here, but I like the longer joint, which will allow me for a lot more movement. And just to show you guys, we have the progress key. I already added the SHF upgrade sticker to make it look really cool. And then you also get another progress key right here. I have to unglue that so I can add a sticker to it so it looks good. And yeah, right there. So let's pose this guy up and then talk about accessories. One cool thing I've noticed about 01, he's more of a relaxed person than an actual fighter. I guess that's the fight style. Because even in his box, he comes with open, relaxed hands, as opposed to most people come in with closed fists. So that I've noticed that about him, and I think that's actually pretty cool that they actually go that route to keep it a little bit I guess in continuity for his fight style, or just his overall attitude. Now, accessory wise, he only comes with hands, no weapons, and that's because you've technically gotten hands if you've been really in this line. So you will get the pointing finger. Here we are with our pointing finger. Let's fix that focus. There we go. And the best thing about this is you can share these with Assault Hopper. And this is the bonus thumbs up, or only I can defeat you, with long that goes along with the pointing hand. You will get weapon holding hands again, because if you've already technically been here a while collecting this line, you should already have someone else from there, right? We have open relax henshin hands, or should I say posing hands. These also can be used as trigger hands as well to hold the shotgun, which I thought was pretty cool. But you can also use these for posing. Then you'll get closed fist, because you already see the open relax hands there. Ooh, drop the fist. So then you'll also get fist. So as this guy's all posed up and nice. Ooh, so nice. Let's change that up real quick. One thing I definitely want to test is if it's still good under blacklight, but I don't have my blacklight with me, so I'll do that towards the end of the video. But real quick, what I am going to do is I'm going to stand him up, and then I'm going to compare him to some other stuff in the line. Oh, one more thing before I compare it to stuff, but I am going to stand him straight up. Get him nice and sized up. That's right, look cool, Aruto. I don't know, I'm just super excited for this. I'm a little nervous, it's weird. Haven't felt like this in a long time. Real quick though, if you have Assault Shining, you have the Authorized Buster. You can clearly hold this in any of the actual weapon holding hands. Oop. There we go. So it does hold. Same for the Case Blade. Can be held by him with any weapon holding hands. And I don't have the shotgun out or the arrow, but it can be held with the other set of hands. So here he is though, next to his Assault Shining counterpart. Actually, let's do a bunch of Arutos first, so that way we can get a nice comparison. Then we have his base form of 01. Did I add the sticker on this one? Yeah, I did. Oh, I added the Realizing Hopper one on that one. That's what I did wrong. Then we have 001, which is his movie form. And now we have, now we technically have all the Arutos out. And as you can see, color-wise, he stayed pretty consistent. A nice mix of black. Ooh, let's actually move all these guys over. We have a nice mix of black with the lime green, with the exception of Assault adding the blue parts, which is actually pretty nice. Realize that's a little too much, even for me. I really like how this looks across the board. I really like all these forms. This one is the bigger, bulkier form. Even with this one being bigger and bulkier, it just feels slimmer still compared to this guy. So let's move these guys out of the way. Now let's compare it to Thouser and Horobi, so we can get a little bit of a slight differentiation. So here is Horobi. And then we have your main man, Thouser, the world's best jobber. And as you can see here, these guys actually all look pretty good together. These guys actually look like they're from the same show. You look slightly different, but you can tell design-wise, they look very similar. And I like that. I like that even though they're different, you can tell they're somewhat the same, and I feel that. Now, we're gonna compare it to some other stuff. Now, this is where it gets a little crazy for me because I don't know if I have everything near me, but we're gonna try and go for it. So here we have a 1000 Toys Synthetic Human, which actually kind of looks like Dawn from 1000 Toys. So Dawn, if you're watching this, make fun of me later. Here we are with an Articulated Icons Ninja. Then we have a Marvel Legends J. Jonah Jameson. I don't have any other Marvel Legends with me, so I'm going with what's near me. And as you can see, the Rider stuff is actually the smaller stuff, but it still looks pretty good next to these guys. Not too big, not too small. And again, I like mixing up sizes, so this doesn't necessarily bother me as much as it may bother somebody else. Here we are with another SHF Kamen Rider. Here's Kuga, and he's of the Shinkeku Seiho line. The renewal line is what I just call it for short. Then we have a non-renewal line Kamen Rider. Here's Brave Level 50. These guys size up pretty well with each other. To make things a little different, here is a Lightning Collection A-Squad Blue Ranger. Now you can see he's much bigger. just to try something a little older. Here's my repainted Gold Ranger. As you can see, he's technically a little smaller. But again, if you're doing a little bit of action stuff, these guys can work out just fine with each other. Next up, we're going to do a G.I. Joe and a Mezco. So here is Mezco Me on a Gomez Gold body. Here's a G.I. Joe Storm Shadow, which has been heavily modified, so he's a little bit taller. Then we have Brother Mandibulus from Mythic Legions, who's gonna be bigger, so I'm gonna put him in the back. He's also an angry guy, so yeah. As you can see, the SHF stuff is pretty much the smallest stuff, but that doesn't impact how fun it is. So again, if you are into Kamen Rider and you wanna like try stuff, this may not be the first one to try with in terms of price, but in terms of look, I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. And I hope you guys enjoy the photos. I really do. So I'm gonna take a second to stop this and test it out under Blacklight to test to see if it passes the former 01 Blacklight test, and then we're gonna say our goodbyes. Okay, so before we go, we're gonna test it out under Blacklight, so let's take the test. And it looked like it does glow under Blacklight. Can't get my Blacklight a little lower because the way I set it up, so I kind of played myself there. But yes, it does glow under Blacklight. Overall, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's a little bit more laxing lately, but I'm a little more chill today. I'm not really feeling too well. But do hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. And as always, guys, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.